distribution helps you understand how values are spread across your system from a number of different perspectives. It lets you split your data into groups to gain insight into metrics like energy efficiency and production. You can feel free to just watch this video, but you can also follow along on PC or mobile phone by scanning the QR code or following the instructions on the screen. The first step is to choose the value you want to look at. This is often a flow, production, or usage rate. The distribution add-on is mostly used to optimize electricity, gas, water, air, and production rates. In this case, we'll choose armature current, which is a measurement of the power given to electric motors. You'll be taken to a view of your live current. The values are split and color-coded based on their location, so you can see the relative amount of power being consumed by each part of the process. Each asset fits into your location hierarchy. The add-on follows these relationships to find where each of the electric drives fit. In this example, the drives that are part of the bridles are all found to be inside the steering system. Going back to our tree map, you can see the steering system here in yellow. To make these easier to accurately compare, we can press the Change Style button to show these results as a bar chart. The controls at the top of the page let you switch between detail mode, average, total, minimum, and maximum. When looking at relationships, you can click on a colored region to zoom in on that part of the process. Clicking on the yellow bar, we can now look at only the bridles inside the steering system. When you want to zoom back out, press the trash icon next to the word steering at the top of the page. You can look at more than just the location. Using this drop list, we can change how we're looking at our data. Let's change from location to instead look at power. We're now looking down our power lines from the main supply and can see which circuits are pulling more power for drives. This time, we'll zoom in on the mid-circuit breaker, and we can see that the 5 bridles we saw earlier are connected to the mid-breaker. Like before, we hit the trash can icon to zoom back out. Now, instead of splitting our data by relationship, we're going to split it by value. But first, let's switch between looking at the live value to look at recent history. Click on the Live button and from the drop-down list, choose Last 3 hours. Then open the drop-down list we used earlier and choose Product Type. We're not looking at how product type influences our power usage on our electric motors. This can be used to check which of our products are the most energy efficient and where we can potentially make improvements. Here we can see that we're using too much power during times when there's nothing being produced. How about we compare our running equipment with our stopped equipment? Not surprisingly, stopped equipment only has a tiny fraction of the power use. ARDI uses relationship-based matching to try and match the pivot property with the value property. The bridles we looked at earlier have both a current and a running property, so it's easy to match the two together. But for the product type property, we follow the hierarchy back. The rollers are part of the bridle part of the steering system, and the steering system is part of the production line. The production line has a product type property, so it's connected to all of the bridles. You can also split data based on events. In RDI, events aren't just machines turning on and off. They represent anything with a start and end time, such as batches, shifts, and downtimes. So if we open the drop list and choose staff schedule, we can split our power use based on if it was day shift or night shift. If you're following along, set the time range to 24 hours if you need to see more detail. If we had downtime information, we could compare energy use when stopped, preparing, performing maintenance, and during staff break times. These could all be times when you could save energy by turning off equipment. You can also split data based on time of day. Choose it from the drop list, and you can choose a time window and compare times inside the window to times outside. And finally, you can split your data by a rule. These are more complicated to set up, but quite powerful. In this case, we want to know how much speed influences power use. Firstly, we open the drop list and choose rule. Then we hit add rule to add an extra rule to the list. In the first box that appears, type speed. This database has several kinds of speed. Choose actual speed, the first option. It will then ask which speed we're interested in. Choose the paint line actual speed, then choose greater than as the type of comparison and a value of 58. Then hit refresh data. And there's our answer. There is a difference in power usage, but it's extremely small.